Cool. All right. Well, welcome everybody to tonight's webinar training, part of our April 2020 Vision Tour with Nicki Keohohou. Before we start tonight's training, we want to follow up with our call to action that we had 2 weeks ago with our first call with Nicki. We are so excited for everyone who sent in what they completed. If you don't remember, the challenge was to connect with 10 customers, 10 team members, and 10 prospects or potential customers or team members, just to reach out to them, check on how they were doing, just have a general conversation with them. And it was so fun to see everyone's response. We even had some people that they said, without even mentioning USANA or the products, they were able to make some sales just because of the conversations that they started up with. And others that just had great conversations just to see how they were doing. So with that, we do have some winners that we want to award. First, we have some health pack winners. I'm not going to read everyone's name, but congratulations to all those who earned a health pack. We will be processing those orders, and hopefully by the end of the week, those orders will be processed and a health pack will be sent out to you. So huge congratulations, and thank you so much for participating in our call to action with our first call with Nicki. On top of that, Nicki was so gracious and so nice to offer also a audio book called Raise Your Success Ratio. And so we also have 5 winners of those that you will be receiving an email from Stephanie Myers. She'll be sending you an email with a link to how to download that audio book. So huge congratulations. And again, thank you so much for those who participated. So we will have another call to action tonight. So make sure you stick around until the end of our call to participate in that call to action. So we do want to start with our tonight's topic, which is creating customers that love you. Those who were on the call last week, obviously or 2 weeks ago, were able to listen to Nicki and listen to such an incredible conversation with her and training and ideas. So we are so excited to have her back. Nicki is the co-founder and CEO of the Direct Selling World Alliance. She's accredited business coach and a great friend to USANA, and we're so excited to have her again tonight. Let me make sure that we can get everything started on Nicki's end. So thank you so much. There are a few questions as Nicki does pop on and start able to get her PowerPoint up. I do want to mention that this call again will be recorded. We will be posting it on YouTube again. Just for those, I know that some things are a little bit busy and can get a little crazy. So we will have the option, but hopefully you can stick around so you can participate in the call to action. So, all right, Nicki, I think you're there. Let me unmute you.
I'm all set, I think.
I think I can hear you, Nicki.
Can you hear me? Oh, let's try it again. How's that?
Morning.
Can y'all hear me okay? I'm getting lots of things coming into the chat box, so maybe they're hearing us and we don't know that they are. Okay, yes, you can hear me. We're ready to rock then. Well, I hope everybody had a fabulous week on your staycation and that you are making lots of progress and that you feel like your business is moving on up because this is your time. So today we're going to be talking about creating customers that love you. How many of you would like to be loved even more? I hope your family's still loving you while you're all at home right now too. So we all want to have more customers that love us. Good for you. Here's the thing. There are some special little techniques that you can use to be of the greatest support to your customers. So let's use them and start now with figuring out how you're going to make this happen. Now, before we do that, how did you all do on your first challenge? I saw some big names up there and a lot more. Type your name in the box if you also submitted, because if you submitted, that's progress. That's a good thing. You followed through, because you're going to have something tonight too. Lots of people submitted. Good for you. Because guess what? Participation is the biggest part of the game, folks. If you don't participate and you sit back and say, well, I'll probably never win anyway, you're right. You're exactly right. You know, it's so funny, people that say, oh, I never played the lotto because I'd never win. Well, you're never going to win unless you do play. Now, I'm not advocating going out and spending a lot of money on the lotto, but I'm just using that as an example. So let's take a look here. This is our overview tonight. We're going to get started now. So the overview is for you to discover how to build solid relationships that create lifelong customers. Lifelong customers that love you. And you all told me you want to be loved more even, so this is your chance. So we're going to talk about personalized customer service that sets you apart from all the others and leads to long-term profitability, relationships, profitable relationships with your customers. So and by the way, it's not always measured in money. You know, I have relationships with people who've never bought a thing, but you know what? They know I care and I know they care. So it's that whole profitable relationship is something that there's a reciprocal. Both parties win. So find those out there too. And of course, they're going to love your products because they love you, which is a big part of what we're talking about tonight. So there are lots of reasons to call your customers. Anybody have any ideas of reasons? Type them into the box that you could call your customers. Throw out a couple of ideas. It's a little scary to me if nothing's coming in, or we are very slow typists. Oh, there they go. Now see, when you do that, you all come in at the same time. It's so fast. Bundle offers, new promotions, just to say hi, new product, just to see how they're doing, their birthday, just checking up on them, appreciation. Boy, there's a ton of reasons. So I'm going to give you a couple more that maybe you hadn't thought of. Somebody said it there, just to check in, just to see how they're doing. And right now, more than ever, people need to know that somebody knows they're around. And these are also just seniors that you have in your life. By the way, I am a senior. Depending on Denny's, you can be a senior at 55. I just thought I'd throw that out. But I am a senior, and I have plenty of people checking in on me. But there are people that don't have anybody. You know, when you show you care at a time when nobody's expecting it, they don't forget that. They'll remember you during the good times, which is also great. To assure the satisfaction with their purchase, whatever they bought. You know, how do you check in with people when they purchased a product? So what are you noticing since you started on XYZ? You know, how does your skin feel now that you're using the USANA skincare program? Those are questions that you can ask just to see that they're happy with what's going on. Introduce a new product. You've got new products. Share those with people. If they don't go to the website, they maybe don't know your things. By the way, a good comment here, review your past notes. What is going on with them personally? You know, what did you put into your notes when you spoke with them last time? What are their joys? What are their challenges? What are their health challenges? Any of those kinds of things. Thank you, Peggy, for sharing that. To let them know you care about them, to see what they're doing, etc. Introduce a new product to explore sponsoring possibilities. You don't know. It may be very different today. You know, there are lots and lots of people that are being furloughed or laid off, and they could do something from their home now, but you don't pounce on them like I was going to say shark, but I guess sharks don't pounce. Maybe like a lion. You don't pounce on them. You kind of test the waters and find out where they are, their level of interest. To ask for referrals, by golly, we got to ask for more referrals. A lot of people forget to ask for referrals. Who do you know that would like to have more energy? Who do you know that would like to ensure they're in good health right now? Who do you know that is looking for some additional residual income? Who do you know? Don't be afraid to ask that. By the way, remember there's only 3 kinds of no's because a lot of people are afraid of the no. There's only really 3 kinds. No, not now. no, not ever, and who do you know, K-N-O-W, that would be interested, that would enjoy having an extra $100, $500, $5,000 or more per month coming into the household. That's asking for a referral. Don't be afraid to do that, because guess what? People want to know that you notice them and that you care about them. So now that we know some reasons to call, what would be some reasons that might prevent you from connecting with your customers? Some of you have these right off the top of your head. Type it into the box if you can think of a reason that might prevent you from connecting with your customers. Oh, the first one up, fear. And by the way, they're all based on fear. Procrastination, very true. It's a busy time. By the way, when you say, I'm so busy, nobody wants to hear how busy you are. I have a full life sends a different message, and it is empowering to you. Not wanting to be overbearing or pushy. Big one for people. Afraid of what they might say. Oh, yikes, they might say no. And by the way, it was no, not now, no, not ever, or who do you know? And I'd much rather hear no, not ever when I'm talking to somebody. So I don't bother them. If they're not interested, that's okay. Release. Take your thumb, put it on your thigh, and just say, release, release. Let that one go. You can't chase people around the block. It isn't healthy. And the fourth no that isn't real is, no, I hate you. And people aren't going to tell you that they hate you. And they may say no, that they're not interested. They're not going to hate you. So don't be afraid of that no. Rejection. And by the way, are they rejecting you, or are they rejecting that they don't take supplements, or they're not interested in being healthy? Or are they saying a no to, I don't want to, I already have a product, or I don't know what they're saying no to, but it isn't a rejection of you. So be careful with that. By the way, excuses are a big thing, folks. We all can find excuses why we can't do something. When you get to that place that I can't, finding an excuse of why you can't, ask yourself this question: what can I do now? What am I willing to do today? These are self-coaching questions. What am I committed to accomplishing today? That's interesting. Here's someone that put a comment. They say no. It just moved. I don't want to change. Some people just don't. Some people have a reason to be unhealthy and to stay in that space so that they have a lot of people feel sorry for them. That's kind of scary, isn't it? Afraid if they say yes, that they won't know what or how to help that person. And remember, we're going to move that word from help to support. They may not know how to support them, so they don't do it. So what will it take for you to make those connections with people? What are you willing to do? Because all those reasons why you can't will hold you where you are. How many of you really want to be in the exact same place you are with no progress 5 years from now? I don't see many hands going up on that one. Here, I always get the excuse that it is too expensive, but they expend a lot of money on other cheap products. What is expense? What are you willing to pay for? Some people would rather have a whole bunch of junk than one quality product. So we aren't going to change people's mindset. They got to want to do it themselves. And the only way you can shift somebody's mindset is by asking questions that make them think. And that's, your coaching skills. So we want to ask the question. So when somebody says it's too expensive, so what would make you say that? And just pause and see what they say. Give people space and grace to work out what they're thinking and let them speak it out so you have a better understanding. I just really want to understand what that means to you. So what does that mean? And that might say, I have zero money right now. I have no income coming. I totally understand that. So is it that it's too expensive, or it is that you just don't have the money at this time? That is a different way of feeling about things. So what will it take for you to make those connections? Now, everybody think for a minute. What do you have more of right now than you normally do? You got more of something. Time. We got more time that is not allocated to driving to work, driving here, driving there. You know, we just have a little more time than we normally have. So how are you using your time? When you make these connections with people, you say to them, I care about you. I was thinking of you. How many of you would like to have somebody thinking about you in a good way? Somebody that just remembers you for the moment. And other people have more time too. Thank you, Peggy, for that thought, because it's very true. Other people have more time right now than they normally would. And the reason they have more time is they're also on staycation and are more housebound than normal. So we're going to make those connections with people. The best way right now is Zoom, is telephone, is long distance people. If you have people in other countries on your team, through WhatsApp, through other tools. And there's a lot of them that are out there. Don't be afraid to use those tools to connect with people. So I want to talk about a couple of these just tips for connection. First of all, before you connect with somebody, you want to be in a positive mental state. Your frame of mind needs to be positive. Who wants to talk to a grouch? Who wants to talk to someone that, you know, has got bad stuff going on and all they want to do is talk about the news and politics and things like that? We got to clear that junk out of the trunk so we can be 100% present with people and in a good, positive mental state. Remember, the first 15 seconds of every conversation sets the tone. So in those first 15 seconds, smile. When you see yourself, if you're on the phone, put a mirror in front of you and you look like this, nobody wants to talk to you, or your furrowed eyebrows, and that's not good for your skin, by the way. So if that's you and you're in that kind of a state, they're not going to want to invest much time with you on the phone. So start that conversation out in a positive way. Also have a purpose for the call. You know, there's a purpose that we're calling. If it's maybe to get a referral, if it's maybe to see how they're doing on their products, what is it? Sometimes what I'll say to people when I make that call, say, I just was wondering if right now you had 3 to 5 minutes for a quick call just to check in and see how things are going. And then honor that at 3 to 5 minutes to say, oh, you know what? I promised you 3 to 5 minutes and we're just coming up on the 5. Unless you have a few other things you'd like to discuss, then you have permission to carry that conversation forth. Make people feel special, no matter what. Personalize your call with a warm comment about them. Or last time we spoke, Susie wasn't feeling well. Is she doing better? You know, what good things are happening while you're at home? What do you feel like you're accomplishing these days? You're right. Thank you, Grace. They can hear your expression over the phone. That is so true. Write down your purpose before the call. Oh, that's good. So, hey, I just love it that you're listening. That makes me very happy. So a lot of good phone tips are tips that you can use to communicate. You decide the trajectory of that conversation. That person could be in a really bad moment and just they're trying to homeschool their child and they're just ready to rip their eyelashes out one by one. I'm just going to tell you, you could be that difference maker so they can go back and work with their child again, and it's okay. By the way, we're all going to appreciate teachers more once we're through this. I think every teacher really deserves a raise. By the way, I used to be a teacher. So what makes you love to work with some people and some people maybe you really don't want to work with? The people that you love to work with, it's interesting. Have you ever watched people come into a room? I think there's a big crowd of people around you. And when some people come into the room, oh boy, everybody is so happy that they're there and everybody smiles. There are a few people that when they leave the room, everybody smiles. Oh, so glad they're gone. Yeah, well, you don't want to be that second part. So we want to attract people that want to work with us. So this is my question for you, and type into the box. What makes you love to work with some people? There's something about them that you love and you can't wait to connect with that customer. You can't wait to connect with that team member. There's positive energy, very true. Genuine, uplifting, enthusiasm. Growth mindset. A lot of positive. Friendly. Action oriented. They smile. They're good listeners. Willingness to learn. Joyful. Focused. So how many of you saw the word come up there? Crabby. I didn't see one crabby out of that whole group. Oh, that was a funny. I have time for you. They make you feel like they have time for you. They don't rush you. They're heart-centered. They're thinking about others, not themselves. They're not talking the whole time about what's going on in their life. They're asking about you. They are interested in you. You love to work with people like this. So guess what? You can be like this. You can be exactly like this, that you care about them. Show people that you care, that you're fun. By the way, this one didn't show up. Humble was a good word that came up. Talking to you, a good eye contact. They're excited to hear all those things, yes. But I'll tell you something, one other thing. People like low maintenance people. How many people love people that are high maintenance? It's not as fun to work with those people. They suck your energy. So we don't want to be high maintenance people. We want to be generous people, giving people. And when we find people like that, they don't suck your energy dry. They give you energy. So what makes you love to work with some people is the same reasons that they would want to work with you. They love life. Thank you. Thank you. You want to work with people that love life, that are happy to be here, that are not in drama, that are okay with what's going on around them. Have you ever met an alarmist? Somebody that's a doomsday person? I call them Negative Nelly and Negative Ned. That's who we don't want to be. Doesn't matter what's going on around us. We got to get our heads straight so we can be that light for other people. Everybody put in your hand a little flashlight just for a minute. And I just want you to pretend you're shining it on everybody you know. That light is shining on everyone. Guess what? You are the light. You carry that inside of you. It doesn't, not because that you're getting a lot of attention. That's not where the light comes from. It comes from inside of you and from other places. I'm just asking you to let that light shine and be a beacon of light. You can light a pathway for other people out of the doomsday that they're in. And by the way, the longer this situation is going on, the more of this kind of stuff we're going to have to deal with. So we got to hold ourselves together. So we know those are the things that we love to work with some people, and we want them to love to work with us. So how do you show your customers that you care? The more light you light, the brighter the world. That's beautiful, Joyce. Thank you. You show that you care because you listen. You empathize. You don't fall in the hole with them. You don't fall in the hole with them. You do have an empathetic way of listening. What else? How do you show you care? You remember their birthday. You remember that they ordered 2 months ago. Then you want to know how they're doing with their products. Doing something for them. Sending a note. Personalized notes right now are really important. Voicemail messages that are uplifting are important to people. Relate to their needs. Maintain eye contact when you can be with them on the Zoom or whatever. Look into the camera, not down all over the place. And it's really hard for me because, I live in Hawaii and it's so beautiful here. And if I look out the window, I see my mountains. I see my pomegranates. I see my papayas and the birds are eating them. I see beautiful things, but that's not fair to you. I got to stay with you in the eye contact. So look into the camera when you're on there. Listen to them, being available for them, not 24/7. I want to emphasize this for a minute. If you are available 24/7 to your team in particular, or to your customers, they think you have no life. They think that all you do is usana. They don't see balance in your life or harmony or peace in your life. So have office hours, folks. Get some office hours and not be available at midnight. They're going to keep calling you then. And we can't be their cheerleader to our team. We cannot be our cheerleader. When they're calling up for you to pump them up again, they're going to go flat again and they're going to call you again. So we can't be their cheerleader. We can be an encourager through letting them speak out some things. You know, what are you grateful for today? You know, what can you do to make a difference for somebody else today? These are paradigm shifts in people's thinking, and you have the ability to do that. Make them feel special. Think about what makes you feel like somebody noticed. I got a package in the mail the other day for no reason at all. And this person just said, "I'm thinking of you and just want to tell you how grateful I am for what you've taught me over the last year." I mean, I cried. It was like just out of the blue to receive that. There was no reason. She didn't have to do that. And it really meant a lot to me. So special notes. When you heard about something important to them, acknowledge it. Send them a note, call, email. My team knows I'm not available except for certain hours. Good for you, Jared. I'm not saying I'm only available between 1 and 2 on Thursdays. You got to have real legitimate business hours, but it is not 24/7. That's not healthy for you. So here's another one for you to think about. How can you engage your family right now in this process? How can you engage your family to reach out to customers, to reach out to team members also? How can you engage your family? What can your children do? What can your husband or wife do in support of you or your partner? What is it that they can do to be a part of this solution? Right now, your business may be what's holding this family together. I don't know your situation, but I can tell you this, they can be a part of that. It's funny because I have 10 grandchildren. My grandchildren all want to be part of something. So one of them is a photographer, and she's very young, and she said, "I'm going to get really good at photography, Mimi, so I can be your photographer, you know, at things that we do." And I said, "Oh, or I can video you when you do these things." Okay. I have another one that says, "I'm really good at math, and you know, I'll help you with sales, product sales. When we go back to those live events, I'll be there and I'll count that change right." And then I have one that is learning Mandarin Chinese, and she's 8 years old. And she said to me the other day, she was singing in Chinese, and I said, "Wow, Leah, you are really good at your Chinese. What made you decide to take that?" They have electives at her school. It's pretty funny. And she said, "Well, Mimi, you know, there's a lot of Chinese population. And to honor them, we really need to learn how to speak their language. Would you like me to teach you?" I went, "Holy smokes." So, I mean, there's a lot of different ways. 10 treasures, you're right. That is so true. Share about their health success. What is going well in your health? And have them say what they think of the products. Those are all ways with customers and with your family. Whatever they can do, if it's cleaning, helping clean your office, if it is taking and putting your labels on products, if you're selling cash and carry, if it is taking the you know, your catalogs or information and putting your name on it. I have an older granddaughter that's in college, and she's doing graphic designs, and she's now making a bunch of our Facebook posts that have our name on it. And I just sent her something the other day and said, could you fix this one up? She did way better than I would have ever done. So, you know, find out what their gifts and talents are and let them utilize those talents. They can participate in this process. They can, you know, I can think of my niece, because my sister was in direct selling for many years, and kids would put the inventory. She had inventory on her shelf. They put labels on there, even if they were crooked. We worked on it, but they put the little labels on the product. Then when they were old enough to have a permit, they drove to help deliver product. Then they did the deliveries after that. And you don't have to do all that stuff. But you see, what she did is she had an appreciation with her children for the business she was doing, and they were a part of it. Remember last week we talked about our family business. So how can they support you? You know, they can, a 10-year-old, I could tell you what, I have 8, 7, 8, 10, and I have one at 12. In all those age groups, they can all do different things. The 12-year-old can call customers and just say, "Hi, you know, this is Kai. I'm calling just to check in with you. My mommy is Nikki, and And my mommy is Grace, actually. My mommy is Grace, and she wanted to know how you were doing and to let you know we were thinking of you. That takes a couple minutes, but you know what? They'll love that those kids did that. So you're right, Grace. Show them the beautiful activity of serving from the heart and as a purpose of how beautiful it feels to receive the smiles and gratitude of a person. So true. So true. Thank you for those comments. So we want to engage our family in the business. So how do you make your customers feel part of the USANA community? What do you do? Because remember, the stronger the USANA community, the stronger the retention of customers and team members. So how do you let them know they're part of the USANA community? What do you send to them? What do you write to them? Share information with them, share tips, share ideas. Telling them about new products, giving them love. A little newsletter, maybe with some testimonials or stories of people's success, how people are dealing with stress during a stressful time. Invite them to your Zoom meetings or to live events when you get back there. For now, have those events to bring people to. Connect to Ask the Scientist. That's a great idea. What the community can offer, some tips, recognition, events, and so on. Who pulls information from the media center? Ask the scientist. Oh, what's up, USANA? What can I do for you? I share the Ask the Scientist. That's good. I use ATS and WUU often. Pull information that you can give them. Don't give them too much. There's a lot of information overload that's going on right now. So focus on things that we know are big concerns. Big concerns right now are the immune system. Big concerns are, keeping children healthy through this, the heart, the stress. Those are the things that people are really very interested in right now and are going to want to be for long term. Connect them to Facebook groups. Excellent, Alex. Facebook groups that share good practices and good ideas. Invite them to your private Facebook group. Include the team chat group in your trainings. You have a million ideas here, folks. You've got a lot of good thoughts of what you can do. Now my next question is, how much of it are you doing? How often are you doing it? How can you do more? What can you do to set aside things to support, set aside time to support people, to block off? Time blocking is important in this critical time, or we get sucked into the laundry buzzers going off and we need to rescue the clothes. That's not going to be the case. If you're a business person, we want to set aside time, block it for business. Speak one by one and know how they are. Very true. So some of you say, maybe you're not doing quite enough right now in the business and you have more time. So when are you going to start blocking off time to reach out to people, to connect with people? This more than ever is an important time to be doing that. We want people to feel part of our community. Blocking off time. That's what I'm going to do. Good for you, Jared. I'm excited. It's easy to keep a relationship with customers. A bit harder with a new prospect because they might feel targeted. How would you not make them feel targeted? What would that conversation look like? You don't get on the phone and say, hey, I'm just checking in. You said you might be doing USANA. Are you going to do USANA? No, that's not what the conversation looks like. Check in with how are you doing? How are things working? The last time we talked, you said you wanted to think about things. What questions have come up for you since the last time we talked? And I just am calling because I care. Maybe you started off calling because I wanted to see how you were doing in your family. I have trouble having short conversations. I need to start the conversation with a time limit. I have less time now than usual. You know what? What is the purpose of the call? You can't control the outcome. You can go in with an intention and that will make it better. But if you tell people 3 to 5 minutes, you've got to stick with the 3 to 5 minutes. Really heart-centered listening is important during this time. This is the perfect time to follow up with earning extra income. And you know what? You never tell somebody you need extra income. Do you need more money during this time? People don't want to tell you what they need. You know, who in your family would enjoy having some additional income at this time is a very different thought. What is a big challenge for you now during this staycation? Very good. You picked up my language. I'm proud of you. So lots of ideas. We all have ideas of what we can do better at. Now the question is, when are you going to start it? When are you going to do it? And I hope it's soon. So this is the vision tour. I'm touring around this little area right now. So in the vision tour, I'm going to ask you, what is your vision of your future? You know, we can't predict what's going to happen with this situation we're in right now, but we can predict how we're going to get through it. We can predict what we're willing to do, how committed we are. We can also lay out plans for when we're all off staycation. So here's a little question. Somebody said, so the first call should only be to talk about life, then a follow-up call to offer you sauna. You will know what to do. You will know how open that person is. And if they say, hey, we're struggling, my husband is having a challenge right now. And, you know, I may have something that can support you right now. You just can't shove them into a corner, especially on the opportunity, because people are really uncertain about their income in the future. But it is the best time, because I can tell you this, when this thing is over, I'm going to predict this, and you can write this down, that USANA and the direct selling profession are going to have a huge influx of people. A huge influx of people, because they don't want to be caught in this situation again. They do not want to have this situation again, where they don't have a choice. They've been furloughed, and now what? I have nothing else to do. So they're looking for that. Love the way John Cajito, I think that's how you say it, shift our thinking to post-traumatic growth. Yeah, it is. I don't really like the word traumatic, but I like, you know, how can we move to when we're past this, what do you want your life to look like? That's another question to ask them. You have to have a vision for your future, but supporting people to see beyond the current circumstances, to support 1 million people live a healthier, happier, more productive life, Dr. Wentz. So guess what? And I know you, Dr. Pinto. I've met you, I believe. Here's the thing. For us to support people to get a happier, healthier, more productive life, we need to model that right now. Everybody that's on this webinar with us right now, we got to start with modeling and being that beacon of light for other people. So get clear. What is your vision for today, tomorrow, next month, and the future? A great activity to do are vision boards with your whole family. And you can do a vision board, get all your old magazines, you've got them there somewhere. And if you don't have poster board, just take regular paper, but to sit down together to create the vision. What do you want your family business to look like in the future? How would they like to participate? It's a good way to get your family engaged. A leader who inspires people to have a better life. Wow, Kaylin, that is a beautiful vision for you. To inspire people to have a better life, to lead people into a better life, even beyond that. What stops me from making that call is because I don't want them to think I really called to offer you sauna, even if we had a nice conversation about life. Well, think about that. So you don't call. What's the win there? There is no win. When you don't call, you weren't a beacon of light in their life. You didn't bring support to them in any way. And you chose for them. See, there's a lot of people that have this fear of being pushy, and we talked about it earlier. And when you have a fear of being pushy and you don't call, you're the exact opposite. People who have a fear of being pushy are on the other end of the spectrum. You're not pushy at all. And you know who you are. You know exactly who you are. So you don't call. You don't reach out. You don't talk to people about the opportunity or even about USANA because you don't want to be pushy. So in reality, you're being selfish. Write that word down. Because guess what? You're choosing for that person. You are choosing for them. And the answer is no. Wow, they missed out. Just for fun, type into the box, what has USANA done for your life? What has USANA done for your own life? And this person has a vision wall, not a board, a wall. That's so cool. I love that. Will you send me a picture of that? I want to see it. Here, what is it that it helped you recover your health? It brought better health to you and your family. It gave me courage. Certainty, hope, health, made me feel better. Wow. Enabled me to start my own business that maybe you wouldn't have been able to do anyway. To grow, gain confidence, meet true friends. To have more harmony in my life, more peace in my life, to love the USANA family. It gave me energy to get back into life. Wow. Purpose, impact on my family for generations. I wish I could speak this Spanish. I need a grandchild to pick up Spanish. At 74, I have a blood pressure of 1. Oh, good for you. Oh, and I love all these. I hope the Spanish person is speaking these out to all of you because you've got some good ones. You get to make a difference. So now I'm going to ask you to think about this. USANA has done all those things for you, for your family, for your life. And when you don't ask or invite other people and let them know what this is, you chose for them and the answer is no, and they miss out on all of these things. This person says, my husband and I wished we knew about USANA before. We were already in another supplement company and was told they didn't think we would make a change. Wow. I would never tell anybody in my lifetime that you can't make a change. You can't make it. I think we would. I was told that you wouldn't make a change, that you would stay with them even though you weren't happy. Well, that's scary. Surprise, surprise. But I hope nobody ever tells somebody that you can't make a change in the world. You can't make a difference in the world. That's awful. Establish better relationships with my sister, my upline, with my friends. A lot of things here. So you understand and know that the vision in your future is based around USANA. Some other people have no hope. They don't even know USANA is here. What are you going to do about that? When will you become gracefully assertive and let people decide for themselves if they want to add a supplement to their regime or if they want to have an additional source of income? I don't know what it is. This is so good. I got into being a distributor after 5 years of taking the supplements because she decided I didn't want to be selfish any longer. Good for you. I can't wait to do a power hour right after this call. Me too. I'm excited for you. I hope I'm making you think. Your future is bright. Your future is bright with USANA. You have the ability to manage your thoughts. You have the ability to take action right now. You have the ability to share this beautiful gift of USANA with people that you know and people you haven't even met yet. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to walk into this vision? Are you going to take a U-turn? Are you going to follow the path of least resistance? Or are you going to be committed to do what it takes? And by the way, in order to have a vision, you got to slow down a little bit and look at your life. Imagine what's beyond this. Dream about what's possible. Then set your vision and then the goals to attain that vision. Most people start with goal setting and they don't even know where they're going. So think about that a little bit. So I'm going to move over here for a minute to a call to action. I'm just inviting you to do something about this, to get out there and to talk to people, to step up your game. Dream about what's possible. Ah, that is so true. I'm glad you grabbed that. That was Dawn. Thank you. Now, someone here says I got to get out of my comfort zone. I'm going to tell you, don't get out, because this is what happens. Here's your comfort zone. Just put your feet on the floor anywhere. Just put your feet down on the floor and look at them for a minute. And I'm just going to say to you, because people say this to us all the time, you need to get out of your comfort zone. So just take a little step out. It's not very warm and fuzzy out there, and it's kind of uncomfortable. So most people jump right back in. So we're back at the same place again. And then somebody else says you need to get out of your comfort zone. So you take another little step out, but it's scary, don't feel good. So it's the least path of resistance, jump back in there. So we stay in the comfort zone. And for many people, comfort is nothing. We don't do anything. So with your comfort zone, you want to enlarge your comfort zone every day by doing the uncomfortable. Decide what is a little uncomfortable. There's no growth in the comfort zone. Thank you for sharing that, Laura. And what do you have to lose was a question here. And another question is, what do you have to gain? You know, I would have never started the DSWA if I had stayed in my comfort zone, because it was uncomfortable to get on the phone and call people and to try and share with them something that was just this little tiny idea with a few people. And I thought, if I don't do that, it will stay this little tiny idea and never grow. And that's what happens to people. Marcy says, keep being beautifully imperfect and keep doing what your heart says. And the more I make mistakes, the more I am learning and giving my vulnerability with whoever I can share. Here's the thing. Those are learning experiences. They're not mistakes. If you learn from something, it's a learning experience. In case you haven't figured out, I'm really good at reframing things, putting a new picture frame around a statement, because it serves the people. It serves yourself. Just like saying, I haven't called anybody. When you add the word yet on the end of the sentence, then it shall be. I haven't called anybody yet, so that means it's going to happen. So your call to action is to start somewhere, do something, reach out to people, reach out to your team, reach out to your existing customers. It's not being pushy, it's being gracefully assertive and giving people a choice. And as long as you're kind and respectful, I can't help but share a good thing with people. And when I know I have something, a benefit or something that's good for somebody, I share it. And the reason I share it is because it's for them. It isn't for me. Whether they buy something or not, I'm not going to die. But if I think it might be good for them, I'm going to share something, because if I don't, what happens if that person got sick? Or what happened if that person, couldn't feed their children during this time and I never even gave them a choice? I don't feel good about that. So if I've got something good to share, trust me on this, I'm going to share it, because I know it's a win-win-win. Remember, we said it last week, the river of life is smooth when everything that we do is for the good of all. The river of life is smooth when everything we do is for the good of all. So look for the win-win-win in everything that we're doing. So this week, it means taking action. So I'm going to ask for any insights or things that came up from you during this training. What are your insights? New discoveries, new learning, your aha moment, your wow. What are you going to do within 1 week? Let's see what you got. Social responsibility. Yes, that's a part of that, just being responsible. We are really choosing for them if we don't reach out. Very true. Learning experiences, reframe from mistakes. I can't read fast enough. Get out of the comfort zone, enlarge the comfort zone. I'm going to send cards and notes. Okay, here's the thing I have to share. It's not out there yet, but we have a 40 to 60% off discount for Vistaprint. It's a great deal, so you can get all your, and they're doing free design services this month. If you want to know how to do that, I'll send you something. Being gracefully assertive, be ready. Be ready for what's coming. Make phone calls. Help customers to be more a part of the community. And I'm going to give you the word support instead of help for everybody, because support is a different word. Help is a handout. Support, you're there with them. Let go of the old ways that are holding me back. Face the fear, do it anyway. I loved hearing people say their benefits. It's easy to forget that that gold is here. Wow, that's so true. No excuses. What do you have to lose if you get out of the comfort zone? What do you have to gain? Talk to people in the cues and in questions. It's knowing what to say. You know the benefits. Be the product. Be an example of the product. Be intentional and take action every day. Never quit. Wow. Share the blessings. We have all been blessed. We have all been blessed by these products, by the education, by the learning, by the tools. Every person right now that's on this call, and all the ones that didn't make it, they didn't know how blessed they were. And see, when you are blessed, you get to share blessings with others, which is a beautiful thing. Think big and put in action. What if I got sick or I needed income and nobody reached out to me? Wow. My friend in USANA biz partner is afraid of being pushy. She needs to hear your message. Share this with her. Because here's the thing. Just for fun, and I know we're about to wrap up, but I don't want to miss this opportunity, because I know that hit home with a lot of people. When you think about a pushy person, what are their characteristics? How do they behave? How do those people behave? Talk too much. Don't listen. They harass you. They're inconsiderate. They're desperate. They're arrogant. They're selfish. They're bossy. They're overly aggressive. They're judgmental. And they don't listen. They're fake. You got a ton of these coming in. We all know. We've all dealt with a pushy person in the past. Let me just ask you. Out of all those things I just mentioned, which ones of those do you possess? All you people that have a fear of being pushy, you got none of them. You have none of those behaviors. So you're never going to have to worry about being pushy, because you don't possess any of them. You're the exact opposite of those. So please start today to be gracefully assertive. Reach out to others. Oh boy, this was a real killer. They're greedy and disrespectful. Ooh, yeah, that's true. I'm never anybody say greedy, but that is true, because it's all about them. And as you say, Larissa, the person that's on your team is the exact opposite of a pushy person. So they don't have those qualities. They don't have those behaviors. So they don't have to worry about being pushy. They can be kind and respectful and caring. Don't stop being the best you to others. Thank you for the reminder to be me and not fear. You're very welcome. Boy, you are all good at this. So guess what? We have a challenge here. Lots of good insights here. Let's end with something positive here. What was the most positive thing you took away tonight? Most positive thing that you took away tonight. What was it? I'm not pushy. Get moving. Win, win, win. Spread the love. Love others. I am a light. A source of light for others. Your smile. Take action. The 3 no's. You picked that up early on. We bring hope to other people. Spread positivity. Don't be scared to talk to people. Just reach out. Be kind, respectful. You're not pushy either. Being gracefully assertive. Be generous. Expect huge influx of people in your business. It's going to happen. We want to be ready to know how to lead. So right now's the time. If you have no one on your team, to get someone on your team. Don't make the choice for them. Lots of great comments here. Let the light shine. Be supportive. And use the word support instead of help. You got it. So we have a challenge, and I think Mr. TJ is going to explain this to you, because we love contests, and you do too, obviously, because you all stepped up. So let's hear what you got to say about this, Mr. TJ.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Nikki. Hey, before I talk a little more about this contest, I want to share one thing that I learned that I loved and took away from it that I'm going to think a lot about myself. Is what I think, I don't know how you worded it specifically, but you said when you enter a room, do people smile or do they smile when you leave the room? And I think that's something very important that we all should think about, right? Are we the type of person that we want to be around? Do we make people get excited and smile when we enter into the room? So let's talk about our challenge and call to action. We want to challenge all of you to do something out of your ordinary, do something different to show appreciation, to show some love, some extra care to, it can be to one specific customer or to a handful or to many. But take a picture of it or a screenshot, whatever that action is, and we would love to see that. So send an email to us at usfield@usanainc.com. We'll put that in the chat too. I wonder if Stephanie or Nate can maybe put that into the chat so you have the email. But it's the same email as the last challenge, the call to action. And for this time, we are going to be, first of all, we'd love to see everything that you do to share the love and appreciation. And we're going to share some of those on our associate community page. But we'll also be raffling off some Tel Aviv regimen kits. So make sure that you do the challenge, take a picture or screenshot of it, and send an email to us so we all can see it. We can share the love with you. But we want to, of course, like Nikki talked about, we want it to be genuine from the heart when you share those thoughts and show that appreciation to your customers. So Nikki, thank you so much for your message. I think it is so relevant today and such a great opportunity for all of us, especially during this time where there's a lot of uncertainty, where we can share some love and be a light to others and to be there for them. So thank you so much, everyone. A reminder that we have our last and third call with Nikki next week. It is not going to be on Wednesday. We're going to have it on Thursday night. Make sure that you register for the call just like you did tonight. So please make sure that you attend, share with your teams. We would love for everyone to attend again so we can wrap up our April 2020 Vision Tour with Nikki. Nikki, any final thoughts that you'd like to give before we close this out?
You know, I just want to say to everybody, I love that you're still chatting. You make me happy. You know, when you have customers that love you, it's because you showed the love. You shared the love. You shined the light on them. And if we keep doing that throughout this time, remember that sticker you put on your phone. If you weren't on the call last week, get a little sticker, write on it, I call because I care. Reach out to people because you care. And you know what? They know what you do. And if there's something that they need or that they have questions about, do you have any questions from me? Is a great, just put anything that I could share with you that could be of support to you is a great question to ask, because that opens the door for them to ask whatever they want. And there's nothing that you don't know or can't find the answer to. And I'd love to get some of these things in here. I'd like to share them on DSWA's social media too, because I think right now, if people start to think about what can I do above and beyond, how can I be of the greatest support to people in my life, my customers, my team, my prospects, people I've met, how can I do that? Our world's going to be a better place. We all can shine the light, and now's the time to do it. So TJ, Stephanie, Nathan, everyone, I just want to say thank you. And thank you for USANA. Thank you to USANA for taking the time to bring this gift to the people. And wow, everybody stayed to the end. Y'all did good. So thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Mahalo and aloha.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.